Welcome to Art of Officiating's weekly dozen, comprising plays through September 28, 2024. I'm Mark Bradley. I've been a little under the weather for this past week, so my voice may sound a little gravelly, but we'll get through this as best we can. These videos are from Colorado Springs games, so I'll reference the Colorado 5-Person Mechanics Manual and Colorado Rules Interpretations and Modifications. Please consult your state's mechanics manual and rules interpretations if I say something that doesn't match what you do in your state. I want to start this weekly dozen video with what right looks like. First with a running play, then with a passing play. There are some improvements to point out though. Before the snap, both wings indicate their widest receivers are on the line. Notice the coach is in the 2-yard coaches area. As part of the wings pre-snap routine, they must look down the sideline and move the coaches, players, and attendants back. At the snap, the coaches area becomes the restricted area. We don't want anyone in that restricted area. At the snap, the line judge's key is the left tackle. He reads run. I would like him to stay at the line of scrimmage and not move downfield. He's safer if he stays at the line instead of moving 3 yards downfield. Now this is what I really like about this clip. Notice the eyes of the umpire and the line judge. They are not focused on the runner. They are looking at the blocks ahead of the runner. Wings and umpires, this is an important precept. We must look ahead of the runner. The referee has the runner until he crosses the line of scrimmage. Notice the referee is not walking. He's hustling to stay connected to the play. When the runner goes out of bounds, the line judge marks forward progress while looking down the field. Notice how the umpire has moved all the way to the top of the numbers to receive the ball. In Colorado, we don't want our umpires to passively wait inside the hash marks to have another official bring them the ball. I know other states have a different ball relay mechanic. Finally, notice how the head linesman has trained his box person to wait until he instructs him to move. Indicate the widest receivers are on the line. Now key on the tackle, it's a running play. Look at the blockers ahead of the runner. When the runner goes out of bounds, look down the line. Notice how smooth that line judge is. Relay the ball onto the field, and then the box person waits until the head linesman, who is now indicating go ahead and move that box. This is what right looks like. This is a passing play. For wings, it's important to determine your passing play keys before the ball is snapped. I'm watching too much film which shows wings staring into the backfield or randomly looking downfield, often not at their initial responsibilities. In this formation, the formation strength is to the head linesman's side, so the back judge has the receiver closest to the visiting team's sideline. The head linesman has the back, who is to the outside receiver's left, and the line judge has the receiver on his side. At the snap, the linemen retreat, so this is a passing play. Here's the goodness of this clip. Neither wing stares into Team A's backfield. They both immediately focus their attention on their key. I'd like to see the line judge remain on the line of scrimmage until his key moves 10 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. The Colorado Mechanics Manual says, on a passing play, the wing officials have to follow receivers downfield, but they need to be aware of what the quarterback is doing. There is no need to release downfield quickly. The wing can allow the receiver to go 10 yards downfield before he needs to follow. Most passes are relatively short. The wing should strive to be within 10 yards of the spot of a catch on his side of the field. With a 5-person crew, the wing must stay connected to his key while checking in with the quarterback with a quick peek after about 3 to 5 seconds to see what the quarterback is doing. Maybe the line judge can stop at the B38 if he chooses to move a little downfield. Notice the umpire quickly pivoted to help rule on catch, no catch. That's perfect. And then the line judge's ball person is close and paying attention, so the crew can quickly get a clean ball onto the field. We don't want to chase balls that are far downfield. The back judge will police up the dirty ball and get it off the field. Before the snap, we must decide on our initial responsibility when the snap goes off. Your state mechanics manual should have diagrams that show responsibilities for different formations. We determine the strength of the formation, so it's on the head linesman side in this clip. The back judge has the outside receiver. The head linesman has the inside receiver on his side. The line judge has that sole receiver on his side. At the snap, read the tackle. This is a passing play. Watch your keys. Do not look into the backfield. We'll start this video with the players breaking the huddle and moving to their positions at the line of scrimmage. We want the outside receivers to indicate their position on the line or in the backfield to the wings. If they don't, the wing will have to use his best judgment to rule the receiver's position. Sometimes younger players will either not signal or they will come to the line and give a thumbs up, as if to say, "Am I okay?" Well, I can't tell you if you're okay if I don't know where you're supposed to be. This is a good opportunity to put money in the bank and tell the coaches they need to teach their players how to signal their position to the wings. As you can see in this video, both receivers on the head linesman's side and the line judge's side signal they are in the backfield. There are 3 additional players in the backfield, so this is an illegal formation simultaneous with the snap. If both wings are punching back, we want to see 2 flags on this play. The line judge has a flag. The head linesman does not toss a flag. Now let's look at the low blocks by the center and the left guard. Rule 217.2 says, blocking below the waist is permitted in the free blocking zone when all players involved in the blocking are on the line of scrimmage and in the zone at the snap, the contact is in the zone, and the block is an immediate initial action following the snap. Their blocks are legal. B87, the player who falls over the center, was legally blocked by the right guard. The center did not participate in that block. As we've said many times in other videos and articles, it's important to see the beginning, middle, and end of the play. If the umpire only sees the end of the play, B87 falling on the center, he may think the linemen were guilty of a chop block. 2 blocks immediately low, and then 87 falls over the center. The flag was for the illegal formation. At the end of the clip, we see the referee and head linesman give the stop the clock signal. The back judge and umpire should join in. The linesman signals to the box person to remain at the previous line of scrimmage and not to move. The line judge and referee then hustle toward each other so the line judge can report the foul. In this clip, we'll focus on the slot receiver who appears to be on the line of scrimmage. He didn't signal his intended position either in the backfield or on the line of scrimmage to the head linesman. If his head is penetrating the waist of the snapper, he's a lineman. If he thinks he's in the backfield, he's way off. His head is definitely penetrating the waist of the nearest lineman, the left tackle. We try to make formations legal. This is not a formation where the head linesman can put that receiver in the backfield. The player is too close to the line of scrimmage to rule he is in the backfield. With a backward signal from the player indicating the player is in the backfield, the head linesman can rule he is in the backfield and then either instruct the player after the down to move back or radio the line judge to relay to the coaches that player needs to clearly be in the backfield. To be an eligible receiver to catch a legal forward pass, a player must have an eligible number 0 to 49 and 80 to 99, and he must either be in the backfield or at the end of his line at the snap. Because this player is not at the end of his line, he is ineligible. The player goes downfield. This is not a foul for ineligible downfield until the ball crosses the neutral zone. If the quarterback scrambles and doesn't pass the ball, there is no foul. The player then catches the ball, so there are 2 fouls on the play. One for an ineligible player downfield and one for illegal touching. Team B will decline the ineligible downfield penalty and accept the penalty for illegal touching. 5-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot with a loss of down. Here's another relatively easy flag for an illegal formation. One of the 3 players between the B48 and B49 is not where he's supposed to be. Both wings are punching back, and then watch both wings tap their flags to indicate to their partner they will sky a flag at the snap. Flags go up, then officiate to the end of the play. Then instead of raising your arm to start the 40-second play clock, give the stop the clock signal and give a good tweet, 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 tweet of the whistle. Look at me, I have a flag. Because the wings skied the flags, everyone on the crew should know there was a foul, and everyone should be giving the stop the clock signal. I don't think there was a tweet, tweet, tweet because the umpire is positioned to spot the ball at the forward progress spot. Only the referee is giving the stop the clock signal. Both wings punch back. There are 5 players legally in the backfield. That is a foul. When the play is over, mark forward progress, but give the stop the clock signal and a good tweet, tweet, tweet. Look at me, I have a flag. Here's another formation issue to discuss. The team in white often had multiple receivers position themselves wide of the formation. A player with an eligible number would be covered and ineligible by position. Notice A13 is punching forward. He says, I'm on the line of scrimmage, and he is not the outside receiver on his side, so he is ineligible by position. Watch the 2 players inside the group of 4. They signal they want to be in the backfield. A13 signals and A1 signals they are on the line. The line judge knows who is eligible by position and who is not, but it's not clear to the defense. These 4 players are essentially on the same yard line. I want to see more of a difference between these 2 players and these 2. The 2 receivers nearest the line judge need to clearly be on the line. Their helmets need to penetrate the waist of the snapper. I don't see this happening in this video. This can be shared with the players or with the Team A sideline at the earliest opportunity. If it continues to happen, we need to flag Team A for having 6 players in the backfield. At the snap, ineligible A13 blocks B21 beyond the neutral zone. A6 goes downfield to the B23, 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. The pass is thrown to A6. Rule 757 says pass interference restrictions only apply beyond the neutral zone and only if the legal forward pass crosses the neutral zone. When the pass crossed the neutral zone, A13 is guilty of offensive pass interference. I'm pretty sure this play was designed for A1 to catch the pass and not A6. If A1 catches the pass behind the neutral zone, A13's block is legal. This is offensive pass interference as A13 blocked B21 and the pass crossed beyond the neutral zone. The line judge signals incomplete pass, but he's looking straight ahead and not at the group of players to his right. We need to make sure we dead ball officiate. Watch the colors separate at the end of the play. The ball is snapped on the B7. The back judge has the end line. The wings have the goal line. On our crew, it's the back judge's responsibility to communicate with the wings. I like to hear wings goal line or back judge's goal line instead of your goal line or my goal line. I like to hear the official call out the position so it's clear. At the snap, when the head linesman reads the tackle, he needs to immediately race to the goal line. He instead backs up if this is where a running play outside the B10. The goal line is a money line, and we adjust our mechanics to be on the goal line and stationary when the runner arrives. The runner extends the ball, but there is no one on the goal line to rule on that action. You'll see the linesman punch in to indicate the runner remained in bounds, but the back judge is on the end line. It's imperative the crew communicates goal line responsibilities when the ball is snapped near or inside the B10. In Colorado, the back judge has the goal line when the ball is snapped outside the B10, and the back judge is the primary communicator if he no longer is responsible for the goal line. The crew had radios for this game, so that message should have been relayed. I like the location of the G marker. It's well off the sideline and gives the wing the room to back way up if the pylon is threatened. When you arrive at the field before the game begins, adjust the sideline markers. Put the numbers at least 2 yards from the sideline and the G even farther back. The formation strength is to the linesman's side, so the linesman has the back in the slot. The back judge has the outside receiver on the linesman's side. At the snap, the line retreats to pass block. The linesman moves downfield. He correctly shifts his view to A1 as his initial responsibility, A30, is now in the back judge's coverage area. This is an example of shifting to a zone. If our initial responsibility goes into another official's coverage area and then we take on responsibility for another official's player, we shift into zone coverage. This is good coverage by that head linesman. A1 jumps over the would-be tackler. Is this a hurdle? Rule 222 defines hurdling as an attempt by a player to jump with one or both feet or knees foremost over the opponent who is contacting the ground with no part of his body except one or both feet. The head linesman tosses a flag. Notice how he's facing the players on the sideline. He's not facing directly onto the field. That is the correct posture when giving the stop the clock signal. After the play ended, the crew gathered to discuss the defender's physical posture and ended up enforcing the foul. We have the luxury of slow motion replay in this clip. It appears the defender drags one or both knees on the ground. The key is the crew knew the rule and was able to make a judgment call based on the rule. If no one on the crew recalled the rules book stipulation, opponent who is contacting the ground with no part of his body except one or both feet, it would be different. They would then be attempting to adjudicate the play without knowing the rule. The crew clearly knew the rule and made a judgment call based on the rule. We can support this flag. The head linesman judged the defender did not have a knee or knees on the ground. Before we look at the formation, I want to point out one uniform issue. The three receivers on the line judge's side have their pants well above their knees. Each state has detailed instructions regarding how the officials need to address this uniform issue. In Colorado, we tell the players to pull their pants all the way down over their knees. Other states will send the player off to fix the issue. In my judgment, the line judge should kill the clock, tell the three players to properly equip their uniform pants, and then move on. In my opinion, it's important not to send these three players off the field. We're in the second quarter, and I'm assuming the crew has not recognized this issue. If they've noticed the issue and have elected to ignore it, that's incorrect. We need to enforce the rules as directed by our state association. In my opinion, sending three players off the field to make a point is not proper game management. We're not on the field to make a point. We can achieve the same effect by spending 10 seconds to fix the problem on the spot. We deal with pant length concerns in most games. It doesn't cost us any emotional bandwidth to quickly address the problem and move on. By the way, we can sometimes prevent these issues during pregame by making sure we look for pant length issues. Now on to the play. The formation is strong to the line judge's side. The back judge's post-snap keys are the two receivers on the outside, and the line judge has the receiver on the hash mark. The line judge indicates the two widest receivers on his side of the field are in the backfield. The line retreats at the snap. This is a passing play. The wings shift their focus from the tackle to their passing keys. Neither wing is staring into the backfield. The wings are still on the line of scrimmage because their keys are within about 10 yards. They're still able to stay connected to their keys while having the ability to quickly check in with the quarterback if needed. This is an important concept, so I want to repeat it. When the wings read their tackles, and notice this is a passing play, they need to immediately shift their focus from the tackle to their passing play keys, the receivers going downfield. Wings do not look into the backfield at the quarterback. The quarterback is the referee's responsibility. As the receivers proceed downfield, the back judge retreats, and the line judge moves down the sideline while continuing to watch his key. The officials can now shift into zone coverage as each receiver is running without restriction. The umpire needs to be on the line of scrimmage to rule on the passer's location if he releases the ball. Both of the passer's feet need to be in or behind the neutral zone for the pass to be legal. As A21 moves back toward the ball, the line judge must stop somewhere around the B42. We need to pretend there's a 10-yard force field between us and the receiver. We don't want to be too close to the receiver because then our field of view is limited and those plays have a tendency to explode on us. Angle is more important than proximity. The line judge moves all the way to the B32. He crosses A21 and is not able to track his movement back toward the ball. A21 delivers a blindside block at the B39 where the runner goes out of bounds. We'll see later in the clip the back judge pulls out his flag and throws it to the B32. He saw the illegal block. B3, who was chasing the quarterback, runs down the sideline and delivers a blow to A21 who blocked his teammate. He then grabs A21's helmet and rips it off. The referee and umpire race to the area. This reinforces the requirement to dead ball officiate. When the line judge marks forward progress, he can't face the field. He must look out of bounds at the players, especially when players go into the opponent's team area. The crew ejected B3 for a flagrant personal foul. They enforced the penalty for A21's foul, which was a live ball foul, and then enforced the penalty for B3's dead ball foul. Here's another clip that enforces eye discipline, initial responsibility, and making sure we watch our keys and allow the other officials to watch their keys and do their job. Notice K8 is only 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Because this is now not a legal scrimmage kick formation, the snapper is not afforded protection, and Team K is not afforded a numbering exception. 5 Team K players on the line of scrimmage must be numbered 50 to 79. I've run this play in slow motion back and forth a dozen times, and I can only count 4 players 50 to 79, and I think I've counted 7 players with eligible numbers, so Team K should have been flagged for illegal numbering. The linesman's key is standing right in front of him, just a few feet away. The line judge releases at the snap, and the head linesman remains at the line of scrimmage. Notice the head linesman's key is now about 15 yards down the field, but he's not looking at that key. He's looking at the blockers on the K40. R11 locks up with the kicking team member and begins to block him toward the linesman's sideline. The linesman is attracted to that bright, shiny object, which is the referee's responsibility, and completely ignores his key and then the subsequent blocking ahead of the runner. A lot of action is happening on the linesman's side of the field, and he's focused on 2 players who are not his responsibility. Lesson number 1, watch your keys. Lesson number 2, trust your crewmates to look in their assigned areas. If we don't watch our keys and look in someone else's area, we can miss other important actions. Now it's time to buckle up. The referee in this game said this was the craziest football enforcement of his career. At this point of the game, the players were starting to lose discipline. The score is 31-0. Scrimmage kicks are tough enough to officiate without the extra buffoonery. 4th and 10 from the K34. Team K again is not in a legal scrimmage kick formation. They have only 4 players on the line numbered 50 to 79. So this is a foul for illegal numbering. I would not throw a flag on this play with the score 31-0. I would just have the line judge talk to the head coach and say, if you're not in a legal scrimmage kick formation, get another player numbered 50 to 79 onto the field or move your punter back 3 yards. Notice how the umpire is too close to the line of scrimmage. We want that umpire about 10 yards back and wider than normal so he doesn't have players passing on both sides of him. The fire always starts with a single spark, doesn't it? During the return, K68 grabs R5 and pulls him to the ground. R5 stands up and gives a "what the heck, didn't you see that" gesture to the umpire. Watch R5. He runs back to the ball and blocks K7 at the R35. Could K7 see that block coming, or was his attention completely focused on the runner? That's a judgment call. The head linesman throws a flag on that block, but he's 24 yards away from the R35. That's why we need the wings to move halfway between the line of scrimmage and the end of the kick. Let's go back and look at the head linesman. He should be looking at this matchup directly to his right, which is his initial responsibility at the snap. Instead, he's looking in the backfield at the punter. That's the referee's job. We need to have each official looking at his key. There are 22 players on the field and only 5 officials. We can't have 2 sets of eyeballs looking at one area. The head linesman started to move downfield, and then he paused because there was a block right in front of him. When R3 began to run to the opposite side of the field, the head linesman started backing up. He should proceed to about midfield or even the R45 to reconnect with the players between the R35 and midfield. So he is really far away from that block by R5 on K7. I don't think he's earned the right to rule on that block. So let's go back to R5 and K7. R5 says something K7 doesn't like, so K7 gets up and tackles R5 at the R45. After pulling R5 to the ground, K68 finds A78, pulls him to the ground, and then for good measure smashes his head on the ground. The umpire sees that action and throws a flag. K68 wasn't interested in tackling the runner. He's just prowling the field, pulling players to the ground. Now let's watch R55. He blindside blocks K84 at the K36. When will players learn to use their hands? If he used open hands, this would be a legal block. He then taunts K84, so the linesman has a 2-for-1 flag. R55 hasn't finished his illegal play. After R3 crosses the goal line, R55 shoves K12 to the ground. That's a dead ball, unnecessary roughness flag. So let's tally the fouls. Live ball foul on R5, and almost simultaneous live ball foul on K68. Another live ball foul on K7. A live ball foul on R55, followed by unsportsmanlike conduct, followed by a dead ball foul on R55. Rule 10.2.2 says if each team fouls during a down in which there is a change of team possession and the play does not have a post-scrimmage kick foul, the team last gaining possession may retain the ball provided the foul by the team last gaining possession, that would be Team R, is not prior to the final change of possession. In other words, Team R gained the ball with clean hands. And then Team R has to decline all of the penalties for Team K's fouls. Team R declined the penalty for K7's unnecessary roughness and K68's unnecessary roughness. The flag for R5's blindside block landed at the R46, So let's assume the R46 was the spot for penalty enforcement for that foul. That's 11 yards away, a pretty big difference. If you throw a flag, you may want to say to the referee, I don't like the spot on my flag. We need to move it back closer to Team R's goal line. The 15-yard penalty from the R46 moves the ball back to the R31. R55's blindside block is not enforced. Then enforce R55's unsportsmanlike conduct penalty from the R31 to the R16, and then enforce R55's unnecessary roughness penalty from the R16 to the R8. Let's see how the crew did. Not too shabby. Even when scrimmage kicks are straightforward, kick, catch, run, blocks, and end of run, they are hard to officiate. This was almost impossible. The players are not playing disciplined football. We've all been there. This is tough. I think the crew did a great job with this play. I'm exhausted now. Okay, I took a nap. And now I'm refreshed. We're ready for the final play. Number 2 on the pucker list behind scrimmage kicks, in my opinion, are interception returns. Same crew, same game. B2 intercepts a pass on the B26. Let the games begin. B55 blocks A5 in the back at the B34. The line judge tosses a flag to the B36. The line judge keeps his eyes on these two players for too long and doesn't shift his focus to the players at and near B2 as he runs down the field. B13 blindside blocks A2 at the B45. Forcible contact means the block player goes to the ground. He staggers and then goes down at the edge of the track. If he remains on his feet, we don't have a flag. No one saw the block, so there is no flag. Here's the final blindside block on A8. The referee probably needs to get this. We always need to look for colors going against the flow. A8's attention was completely on the runner. In my judgment, there's no way A8 could see B11's block coming. And dang it, it's not with open hands. But the fun is just beginning. Team A's head coach sees the illegal block and sprints down the sideline to confront the line judge. That's the most epic flag toss I've seen in 17 years of officiating. This line judge is a pretty mellow guy. I think instead of an angry flag, this was a surprised flag. Either way, it was impressive. I could say, let's toss our unsportsmanlike conduct flags with some constraint, but I wasn't there. I probably would have done the same thing. It always cracks me up a little when indignant players and coaches point out fouls to officials who were not covering that part of the field. A56 and a Team A assistant coach are saying to the back judge, "Didn't you see that? How could you miss that?" We shouldn't throw our teammates under the bus. We can't say, "That's not my call, that's not my look." The back judge just stands there and listens. The penalty for B55's illegal block in the back is enforced 10 yards from the spot of the foul, the B36. That's where the flag ended up. The penalty for the head coach's unsportsmanlike conduct is then enforced from the succeeding spot, the B26. It will be 1st and 10 for Team B at the B41. That's your weekly dozen for games through September 28th. Thanks for watching. If you encounter any interesting plays during your season, I'd love to see them. You can send them to me at contact@artofofficiating.com.